Hello? Chat. Is anybody here? Live on a Saturday. Just listening to some groovy, relaxing music on the Arundel Towers. SVS subs. Got a sunny day today. Want to talk about preamps today. To those who are going to be watching on the replay, yeah, today's topic is going to cover a number of different things. Anything that comes up in chat, questions, normally I have a fun time with my friends that come in. My preamp journey continues. I just filmed a number of different things for part 3 videos that I'm going to put out. Very interesting sort of results, and I'll showcase a little bit of what I was talking about. I put my topping L70 preamp, which is RCA XLR input and RCA XLR outputs, simultaneous outputs in this case. I've got them hooked up to the SVS subs and my Buckeye amps, and surprisingly enough, the preamp that I'm using now is actually really good. It's super clean, doesn't add any sound to the signal. Whereas I was having trouble with my Rotel at one point, and I wasn't exactly sure what was going on with my Rotel at one point. So I did end up selling the Rotel preamp, and now I'm using this one today just to check it out. Giaret Dosmanov. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, but thank you, my friends, for being here and checking things out on a Saturday. I am talking about the preamp today. I'm trying out a new preamp in there. Check that out. That's a topping L70 preamp with XLR outputs, and I'm using the RCA inputs. That's like a $400 preamp, and it actually sounds really good. I'm getting really good levels from the output. Much better than in my living room. I'm using the Weem Pro Plus. And we're running RCA from the DAC and the Weem Pro Plus into the topping L70, and amazing results. I want to showcase something really interesting about this preamp that I think a lot of people will be interested in. So let me pause my music there and give this preamp volume ladder a listen. Check this out. It actually has a step ladder volume attenuation inside. That's actually incredible for this price. And the fact that it's got balanced inputs, RCA inputs, selectable to both. There's dimmable features. I think there's 2 different settings on the other side as well. I'm not really sure what the other settings are. The manual will explain, but I'm really appreciating this one right now. It's actually running my towers and subs at the same time with pretty clean results, I must say, compared to the other preamp that I was using. So that's a lot of fun. See, the one thing that I don't have going on right now is my CD player, but we're going to get to that, and I'm actually going to do an unwrapping of a CD. I just got a CD this week. Yep, I'm still buying CDs. This one's a metal band. I'm not sure if anybody out there listens to metal, but Fallujah just released an album recently. This one is called Xenotaph. Bunch of different songs on there. Haven't even opened it yet. Look at this, the plastic's still on it. Of course, I could listen to it on Spotify and all that other stuff, but you know what they say about the Spotify universe and how it's not supporting artists. So here's my effort. I'm supporting artists. This is my proof that I am supporting artists. I don't know what's on there. Something stuck to the case, I think. Anyhow. Oh, it's sealed over the top. That's what that is. So there's the album, Nuclear Blast Records, Xenotaph. I'm gonna try and see if I can switch the inputs on my preamp here in a second. True Voice of Reason's here early. That's awesome. How are you, sir? Thank you for being here and catching this one. We're just trying to open up this CD right now. Of course, I bought 2 copies of this one as well. The other one's sitting in the drawer. I am doing well today. I've got a new preamp set up. If you browse, you may recognize I'm using the only preamp in the house right now to listen to music in here, and it's actually going quite well, surprisingly enough. This system actually sounds really great like this. I don't have the similar issue I was dealing with, the Rotel. It's gone magically, like immediately, so I'm looking forward to my next steps. There's a secret that I have that I'm not going to share in the stream. You'll have to watch the video coming out. CD plastic wrap, the bane of all audiophile existence. Yeah, and I'm trying to peel the sticker off the other side here too, and son of a bitch, this shit doesn't want to let go. I'm gonna have to use my Goo Gone to get the glue. Like, that's, you know, half of the things we have in life are all stuck together with glue. Seriously. A lot of the parts in cars, electronics, speakers, cabinets, furniture, it's all glue. Our fucking world is held together with glue. Can you believe that? Cell phones, sneakers, shoes, work shoes. Glue. Of all things, the world of technology is held together with glue. If we didn't have glue, can you imagine? Can you imagine what the world would be like without glue? All right, here's the CD. Pretty cool artwork. This is something you can't get with streaming, kind of, but it's not really the same. Kind of want to get your hands on it. That's like dating a woman online. What kind of fun is that if you can't put your hands on it? With consent. All right, I'm going to turn on the CD player over here. We're going to get this thing started. I just want to see if I can actually make it work. Making it work? Okay, so I am using Spotify right now. It's a really beautiful lock screen, isn't it? I love that. No, can't let you see that. Not like you're gonna come up here anyways, but all right, we were just listening some easy listening, and that's on pause now. So let's go through the steps. I have a remote control here, which is probably gonna make my lights flicker. But we're gonna go into the settings. I think input, XLR, RCA input. Now the actual app that I need to use, I'm still going to be in the preamp app, but what I need to do is change from streaming to, let me see, go to Weem Home, search for the device. Okay, there we go. So now that's what we had playing. And I need to figure out audio input, Ethernet. Let's go line in. And now it's changing. Now let's check out if the CD player works. Oh wow, we actually have some sound. Check this out. So I'm only going to play a little bit, but that's proof. I'm listening. I'm using the Weem Pro Plus as a go-between because my preamp only has one input. So the Weem Pro Plus has one RCA input, and I'm streaming the CD player into the Weem Pro Plus and out to the preamp. So that actually worked out pretty good. I could use optical because the Weem Pro Plus does have optical inputs, but preamp gain. Wow. See, the Wing Pro Plus has actually got a lot of different gain settings, so I can actually change the preamp gain. Pretty cool stuff. I like it. Okay, cool. I actually don't want to play all of that. Anyways, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna go back up here, go to Ethernet. It's gonna switch the inputs for us. Then I can go back to Spotify and I can just press play, and it's gonna go back to playing the copyright free stuff, just like that. So I'm using a different app to really control everything because the other preamp actually had multiple inputs. I was using the coaxial inputs for the other preamp, but now with this new preamp, it's only got one RCA in. So I'm using the Wing Pro Plus as a go-between in order to make the whole thing work. Just wanted to see if it did work, and now I know that it works. That's awesome. Anyways, how is everybody today? What is going on? What's new in audio life? We may not hang out for too long today. Maybe a half hour, maybe or so. Say, oh, you're headed towards Barry Manilow territory. Looks like we made it. The glorious result of Redbook. Redbook. CDs, yes. CD quality. I am very satisfied that I have a CD player in my system, and I will continue to have a CD player in my system regardless of where it goes. I think the tribute player that I have is plenty good enough in terms of CD players. I don't think that I need anything better than that, even as a CD transport. I don't know how much more stable I can get things out of a CD player. I mean, it is a CD player. But yeah, that was Fallujah that we just put on the CD player there. So if you're interested, check that out. And again, I'm going to mention, I just recorded a little bit of a part 3 of my preamp journey. I am using a different preamp today for those who've tuned in. That's the Topping L70 balanced preamp. It's got RCA and balanced inputs. I'm running RCA right now, and it's actually really, really nice. I'm noticing a little bit of audio difference. Now, I don't know if that's from the DAC or the preamp itself. Preamp seems to have really good specs. The voltage levels seem to match and agree with everything. There's no noise floor on the system or the amps. Everything is absolutely dead quiet. 2 volts of output from the Weem, and the amps are set to high gain, and they don't need to be right now. Of course, I can turn it down, seeming as the output from the other devices seems to be really good. So yeah, it's going pretty well. Gadgetry Tech, hey man, your live stream popped up on my YouTube homepage. Just wanted to say hello. Nice looking setup. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you got a channel, I'll try to subscribe and follow the name. Yeah, it's Arundel Towers, SVS subs, Buckeye amps with Purify modules. I did just sell a preamp, so this is the Topping L70. I'm just giving it a try right now. The Rotel Tribute player. There's a reason why it's Tribute. Some of my longtime friends will know why. The room is all set up in white like this for a good reason. Again, my previous videos will talk about that. I don't feel like bringing it up. The mirror is just kind of there as like a, you know how they have like a picture-in-picture. You can see some of my body language, the fact that I'm a real person. AI nowadays is taking over absolutely freaking everything. So we don't want AI to take over. We need people to remain people. We need people to employ other people. We need people to improve and inspire other people. We've had machines take over so many different monotonous things in the world, and smart devices haven't resulted in smart people. All they've done is made us lazier and more shortcuts, and we end up being victims of people who put other schemes in place. Come on, get life together. There's a reason why my channel is Sciphonics. Psychology is also part of what I talk about here, and the psychology of life and of balancing your life requires awareness. If you have no awareness, you have no tools to be prepared for life. Same thing in audio. If you don't have the right DAC, the right preamp, the right CD player, the right sources, if you're not sure how everything goes together like a puzzle, you might not get to where you want to be. Not so dissimilar from life. Let that groove for a bit. Room treatments, yes, Gadgetry Tech is saying room treatments for sure. And in my room, I'll do the quick wrap around. I have absorption panels on the ceiling and diffusion panels kind of on the sides. Now they're not tuned specifically, but they are on the sides there so they can reflect and make the sound stage a little bit wider. And then the rest of the room is wrapped in white curtains. Those are blackout curtains, and they just take off the slap echo, which is rather annoying. The biggest problem that I have in the room is bass, and I'm using phase control with the bass and subwoofers and steep roll-offs, 18 dB per octave roll-off at 65 hertz to cross away from the towers in a different position. And yeah, I have some nice, really thick black shag carpet on the floor and a nice white carpet in the front. So definitely helps keep the reflections from the floor to ceiling. Yep, I've got as best as I can in here. That's the best anybody can expect, really. I mean, my other room where the theater is set up is really similar. Curtains everywhere because, you know, I have the opportunity to do that because I'm single. Nobody telling me what to do, no compromises there. But then if I get bored of it, I can just hang new colors. We're just grooving on some copyright-free music from Spotify in the background. And check this out, if everybody's curious, while I've got your attention, check out the dials, the clickies on the volume. Let's go all the way down. Still listening? Do you guys hear that? Pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's really, really interesting that a preamp that's about $400 has two inputs possibilities. I'm running XLR out to the amps, monoblocks, and running RCA stereo out to the subs, and it's quite magical. I gotta admit, I didn't know what to expect from a preamp like this, and Stefano Misi. I'm sorry, dude. I try my best to pronounce what I see online. Stefano is going to be good enough. But yeah, it's really, really small. So this is my smartphone. This is a Samsung S23. And it's got a case, and that's the whole preamp. Basically RCA XLR inputs too, actually. Let me try to get around to the back. Balanced input, balanced output. Right now I've got RCAs running to the subs, and there's an option in the menu to run everything at once. There's you can see the outputs. This is the input here, and this is the output, so it's running both at the same time. Balanced output for headphones, check that out. And then two different kinds of headphones there. So you can pretty much run everything off of this preamp, and because I'm only running streaming in my room, I pretty much just run the CD player line into the Weem Pro Plus, and then RCA, use the DAC in the Weem out to the preamp, and that's it. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. So like people that are really high on, you know, like high-end equipment and all kinds of gear that costs thousands of dollars, there's a lot of really, really good audio out there that can sound more than good enough for casual, if not moderately attuned listening. If you're really hi-fi and you're looking for something in the upper percents of tuning and resolution and certain components, then you may have to get something a little more expensive, but not everything in the chain has to be expensive. Now the amps are Buckeye amps with Purify modules. Those are some of the best Class D you can get. These are modified with a micro audio power supply with 40,000 microfarad cat boards. So there's increased power available in the amp, fully balanced, all that kind of stuff. So that's not going to be an issue. That's really neutral. It's Class D, but there's a lot of grit and a lot of grip to those amps. True Voice of Reason, with SMD components, I bet the board is only a quarter to half the size of the case. The connectors probably take up as much, if not more, room in as the component board. Well, yeah, because you got to think about, it's basically just the volume ladder, the power supply that's probably isolated to one side, and in the middle of the chassis, there's probably very little going on in terms of preamp. It's very like out of the way, discreet. Very, very cool stuff. Now, I've never seen inside, and I don't want to open it up, but yeah, you're probably right. A lot of those connectors will stick far into the chassis itself, and then that's pretty much the whole thing. Really cool stuff. Like I said, I recorded a little bit of a video earlier, 2 different videos. One of them is a little bit different. I'll have to introduce you guys to a new toy that I got, if you're curious. Something to spice up the recording life a little bit. I got a new camera. Check it out. That's me over here. Hey, what's going on? So I got a new camera, and we're going to be using this for some more interesting kinds of views. How many people are using a camera within a camera? This one's really cool because I can use the attachments all over the place. It's magnetic attachments, really awesome stuff. And yeah, if I want to show you my feet, then I can show you my feet. But yeah, I'm going to be using this a little bit more. I can get out on my bike. I can record this way. Really, really cool. It's the same as my other camera, but a little bit different. It's more action camera than it is point and shoot. Really awesome stuff. So I'm excited about that. I just used them in the 2 videos. One of them where I'm selling, beat me to the foot comment. Yeah. That's how it is, right? We play games here. This is the way it is. My regulars know what's going on, and all of the new people and friends that I meet that are interested in anything that I have to say. I mean, thank you for being curious, and then also thank you if you're curious enough to support and stick around. It's an open-ended conversation about audio. There's lots to learn out there. Gadgetry Techs have to go, but good luck with the stream and channel. Thank you, sir, madam, person. Thank you, human, for joining and subscribing and leaving some thoughts. I do appreciate the commenting. That's something that we need more of in the community, is to speak up and share our thoughts and connect with people as people. I'll be sure to check out everything on the channel as well. Gadgetry Tech seems to be something that we're all into. I mean, I did buy a fan the other day and put on the floor, and that's pretty cool because actually the middle of the fan tilts up and down, and we've needed it the last few days because goddamn, it's been hot. So yeah, technology of all kinds, very cool stuff to be into, but also to like let people know, hey, what's worth buying right now and what isn't worth buying, what we don't want to spend our time and waste our money on stuff. So yeah, guy name is Joe, see ya. Cool. That's my name too. Guy or Guy, because it could be French. Guy, like Guy Lafleur was a goalie for the Montreal Canadiens. Or what's his name? Not, or like, could be like Guy Ritchie, but it could also be like, what's his name? Not Gray Fox. What's his name? Wasn't that guy named Guy as well? The guy in 5th of November movie? I can't even remember. Anyways, have a great day. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. True Voice of Reason, as always, thank you for being here and checking everything out. I am waiting on confirmation from Hagel about a surprise. I can't give away too much about that right now, but I am waiting on confirmation. Because I am without a preamp, I thought, hey, why not ask some friends and see what can happen. I did reach out and ask other reps from some brands. I'm hoping to figure out what I can use in my system more permanently in the next little while. My journey for a new preamp has led me to use the Topping L70 for my living room, and it's actually quite amazing. I mean, this preamp was literally like $400, and it's already sounding like lower noise floor than the Rotel that I had, which is crazy to think about. I would have never guessed as much that would be the case. Of course, the other unit has way more inputs, way more capability in terms of switching and managing. Very smooth volume controls, all that kind of stuff. DAC built in, so there's another thing. All of those things add up over time, but yeah, in my search for preamps, I got to try what I got, and if right now I don't have very much, that's what I'm doing. So that's what it is. I may not record a whole lot coming up next week. I'm gonna have an event, so I will be at a store next week. They're going to be doing Audio Group Denmark stuff. Really cool gear. Audio Group Denmark has the Access line, which is their lower sort of entry level. A lot of technology trickled down from their like almost $1 million lines. So it's an incredible value, even though it's priced a little high. But then again, the technology and the amount of quality that you're getting, even at those levels, like $8,000 entry point for a 100-watt stereo pre-power amp with DAC and streamer built in, all in one stereo solution for $8,000. It's a lot, but it's also a lot you're getting is incredible quality, very high quality, and low noise floor amplifiers. The Access line speakers, even in their entry point for bookshelves, incredible sort of stereo staging and cleanliness in the signal. Very clean, amazingly clear tweeter that they have on the X1s. So I'm going to see what can happen there. I'm going to go check them out again at EQ Audio in Ontario, Canada. And for the rest of the weekend, I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, I think that I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day here, listen to some tunes. I'm going to evaluate what this preamp sounds like at different volumes, different genres of sound. I might post another video of a sound demo. We'll see what we get up to as far as that's concerned. If it does rain a little bit later, I'll probably be staying inside, but once it cools down, I might step out, get out into the limelight. Now, I'm not a really big fan of being outside in the sun, but it has been a really nice week, and we've had some cool temperatures, and it is nice to enjoy the summer while we have it, because in the winter time, Canadian weather switches really quickly, and we know what it's like to be locked inside in the snow and ice. We're not talking about California ice. That's something different. Canadian ice. Stepping out like Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson and Bo Jackson. Both of them know what's up. Yeah, that is what it is. Anyways, I am going to cut this one short. We're going to keep it to a half hour. I just want to come in and say hello to my friends. I'm glad that some of them have come in to say hello. I don't know how an hour is going to do for a lot of people, but I think that's going to serve its point. It really was all about this preamp sort of being in the system and checking it out as far as, you know, I can use a very simple sort of preamp with the Weem Pro Plus and the RCA inputs and the XLR inputs, and this turns into a pretty good system. If I had a bigger DAC with multiple inputs, then I could use that as a go-between, but the preamp here actually controls quite well. Now, would I want better options? Do I want bass control? Do I want mono subwoofer outputs? Do I want bass trim and levels? This thing doesn't have any tone controls, no balance, no nothing, no real other settings to speak of, just volume and input, output, that's it. Headphone amp included, that's about all you're getting. Everything else is done outside. Now, the Weem Pro Plus has actually got a lot of technology built in, so that circumvents the need for an advanced preamp, so I'm actually satisfied with this. And this car across the street's beaming me right in the face. Go away. Holy shoot. Can't even, there's a flare there. Look at that. All right, so thank you to my friends that have joined today. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much for checking out everything. Again, that's the L70 topping DAC that I've got running, and sounds awesome on the system, I gotta say. Very low noise floor, no hissing, no sounds, no clicks, no pops, no on, off, start, stop, nothing. It's just amazing. Pretty cool stuff. Thank you, True Voice of Reason, for being here. Gadgetry Tech for checking it out. I had Stefano pop in for a minute, and Dozmanov came in right away, right at the top to say hello. So anyways, check out the other videos if you're curious about the channel. There's lots of videos to check through. The last few have been about preamps, and I'm still kind of halfway there. There'll probably be 6 parts before I'm done. All right, I'll see everybody in the next video. Have a great day. Enjoy the sun. Get outside. Touch some grass. Have a few drinks. Say hello to your friends. Check in on people. Answer your emails. Check your messages. If you haven't heard from people, check in on them. Don't lose connection with your friends. I know that everything you hear is connected with the audio system, but don't forget to stay connected with your friends and family too. All right. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next video.